Okay, make sure we get our stream straightened out here. My bad, guys. Get a volume straight. Good gaming glasses. Okay. Man, I was hoping nobody was over here, but I've seen somebody over on that end. They made a better graphics on here too. That's good. Get out of here, guys. People on that end, on the other side. See if anybody landed here. Huh. Okay. Wait, there's a basement? Alright, go towards my teammates over there. What's up, everybody on YouTube? See if we can get our first like on here. What's up? Arshia Varama. What's up? What's up? How are you? Looks like somebody was over there. Hey, Selena, welcome. Thank you guys for the first like on YouTube. I do appreciate it. What's going on, everybody? Did anybody land over here at all? Doesn't look like it. I don't want to stay here too long, neither. There's another launch pad in here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Try to go towards my teammates so they don't leave here because I'm not joining them. Welcome to the stream, guys. Let's see if we can get our second like. That would be appreciated. We need a shotgun. Holy dude, I have not found a shotgun at all. First like, thank you. Do you have a mic? I do, but I'm not gonna have it on today. What the? Okay. That was my first elimination. What's up, Selena? How are you? Jeez, dude. Where is... Wow. Dude, these guys are... Can you use it? Because I have mine on. Yeah, I mean... No, if you want to play, you're more than welcome to, but I'm not gonna pop it on today. Yeah, I'm not gonna have it on today, so... But yeah, you're more than welcome to join in. Is there a player over here? I just seen him shoot. Oh yeah, he's down here. Wait, was that a real player? I don't know. Can you be mod? Yeah, I don't. No, I don't give mods like that. I don't think I even have any mods on my stream, actually. I'm not even big enough streamer to have mods, so it's kind of useless. Kind of useless to have a mod when I don't even have that great of a stream or that many people in here to mod my account. Oh, we got a scar. Not a legendary scar, but at least we got one. What kind of Damn it. Alright, teammates, what are you guys doing? They're just staying back there for reals, bro. Come on now, you got a freaking sniper, snipe them out. You even got an AR, bro. Oh my goodness, dude. We're not gonna win this one here. We got noobs on our side. I thought I was noob, but these guys are more noobish than me. These guys are more noobish than me, man. What the hell are they doing? Oh, he's gonna thirst? Really? Dude, don't! Oh my word, teammates. Oh my gosh, man. What are you guys doing? Man, I thought I was a noob, bro. What the? Oh wait, is there a new season? No? Okay, it's just a new season for the OG pass. Okay. I was like, wait a second. The thing is, they don't give you, like, this is pretty cool. They don't give you any V-Bucks for the OG.
True of the cultivators of the Blood Demon sect and the Violet Fate sect. They stared with gaping mouths. What did the Blood Prince do in the past? How did he get so many people to owe him so much? TH pitch this. I noticed that when he pulled out those jade slips just now, he only took out a few, the ones that belong to the Northern Reaches cultivators. Could it be that the rest of the jade slips include people from the rest of the lands of South Heaven? The Blood Prince must have done a lot of business in the past. Dia's eyes were bloodshot, and he was filled with feeling of humiliation. Throwing his head back and roaring, he hefted his wolf-tooth club and charged toward Meng Hao. Nonsense. I'm gonna smash you to death, fool. Meng Hao's eyes glittered brightly. As the hulking man bore down on him, he raised his hand up and pointed forward. Immediately, a blood-red vortex began to spin around the man. As the vortex rotated, an enormous blood-colored hand appeared that grabbed onto Di. He struggled, but was absolutely incapable of doing anything to free himself. He could do nothing but cry out in rage and look around with confusion. It only took a moment for him to realize that his fleshly body was rapidly withering, his chi and blood pulsing out of him and speeding toward Meng Hao. As for Meng Hao, his fleshly body was rapidly becoming stronger. Up to now, Meng Hao had not met anyone under Dao Seeking who could free themselves from the Blood Demon Grand Magic. The scene didn't faze the Southern Domain cultivators at all. However, Zhou Chen of the Coffin Altar sect from the Northern Reaches was completely shocked. His face flickered, and his eyes went wide as he stared at Meng Hao. Shocked, he began to pant, and any scorn which he had felt toward Meng Hao was now long since vanished. As far as he could tell, a magical technique like this was on the same level as Lu Bai's time magic. Inhuman, just as inhuman as Lu Bai. Lu Bai of the Imperial Bloodline clan was also staring with a strange light in his eyes, and a slight smile on his face. Inwardly, the desire to do battle was growing stronger. If that's how it is, he might be worthy of going up against me. Inside the Blood Demon Grand Magic, Dia's fleshly body was withering rapidly. Horror and astonishment filled his heart, and he was completely terrified of Meng Hao. Damn it. You're just as inhuman as Lu Bai. He roared. He clenched his teeth and then slapped his bag of holding to produce a crystalline magical talisman. The magical talisman glittered brightly. This was a life-saving treasure given to him by his clan before leaving for the Southern Domain. He never imagined that he would have to use it after making his first appearance. However, facing this deadly crisis, he ignored any consternation and instantly smashed it between his fingers. The instant the magical talisman was smashed, a stream of Dao-seeking power descended. The intensity of the power caused a tempest to spring up and slam toward the blood-colored vortex. Rumbling filled the air as the Dao-seeking power descended. The blood-colored vortex trembled, and Di, taking advantage of the surge of power, burst out. However, in that exact moment, Meng Hao gave a cold snort and waved his finger. Wither, instantly. The withering flame demon magic true self-Dao that Meng Hao had just come to understand sprang into action. The single character transformed into a natural law of heaven and earth, replacing what currently existed. A will of heaven and earth descended. In the blink of an eye, the air transformed, and distortions appeared. Di let out a miserable shriek as his body once again began to wither. This time, the withering was not limited to his fleshly body. His cultivation base withered, his life force withered, everything withered. Sensing his death approaching, Di looked toward Lu Bai, who hovered off in the distance, his eyes glittering. Lu Bai, save me. Lu Bai lifted a hand and pointed out. Reverse. As soon as he uttered the single character, the air distorted and transformations of time appeared around Di. It almost seemed as if time were being forced to run in reverse, initiating an abstract struggle against the power of Meng Hao's withering character. One moment, Di's body was almost completely withered. In the next, it had been completely restored. The sort of pain caused by going back and forth between these states made Di intermittently issue blood-curdling screams. The entire process lasted for the space of 3 breaths. However, to Di, those 3 breaths were like 3 lifetimes. In the end, there was a boom, and Meng Hao backed up 4 measures. The withering character and the blood demon grand magic collapsed. Lu Bai fell back 3 measures, his face flickering. His secret art of time magic also vanished. Between them was Di,
way over there. I'm not gonna get him.
He was now bony and thin, but not dead. He had managed to scrape by with his life. Aghast, he shot toward Lu Bai, his terror regarding Meng Hao having reached a pinnacle. As far as the struggle between Meng Hao and Lu Bai, it was hard to say who won and who lost. However, it seemed clear that Lu Bai was a bit more powerful. And yet, even as Meng Hao backed up, he reached up with his left hand and slapped the 300-meter-long black-colored claw. Immediately, the treasure was sucked into his bag of holdings. The 6 blood demon sect patriarchs appeared behind him, having finished gathering up a large assortment of various items. As for the surrounding crowds from the southern domain,
he disappeared
they were
already.
all panting.
Whatever, dude.
He's gotten stronger again. Meng Hao only had a little flash of enlightenment, but his magical techniques actually advanced again. Damn it. He could already display Dao-seeking power, but now, if a Dao-seeking expert doesn't appear, who could possibly suppress him? Dao Child Zhou Chen from the northern reaches coughed ultra-sect at Meng Hao with astonishment. He was well familiar with Lu Bai's reputation. He wasn't just famous in the northern reaches, he was also well known in the eastern lands. If he weren't, how could he receive the honor of being deemed one of the 4 great young Star Lords of South Heaven? Star Lord was an honorific title in the lands of South Heaven to refer to the 4 strongest people in the spirit-severing stage. He was able to fight Lu Bai and even make him retreat 3 paces. This Meng Hao is too powerful. Lu Bai gazed at Meng Hao, and within his eyes the desire to do battle grew even stronger. He raised his right hand, and the air in the area distorted. A pulse of Dao-seeking power began to descend. I'm not in Dao-seeking, he announced. I'm only at the 2nd severing level. However, I can enter the 3rd severing at any time. It's just that my Dao still requires refinement, so I haven't performed it yet. Today, you will be the whetstone to sharpen my blade. By this time, his desire to fight was raging to the heavens. He took a step forward. However, even as his foot descended, the lake beneath him suddenly began to rumble. The water began to shrink down, as if another eruption were about to occur. A second eruption. Heavens! The 30,000-meter main lake is going to erupt a second time. What exactly does this mean? It's actually going to erupt a second time. One fun fact. The name Zhoujia is exactly the same as the Dao Child from the Black Sith sector.
Whatever, guys. Like 2 against 1, bro.
I know
My
someone named
teammate left
Humphrey
me.
here in China. Same
The hell?
Chinese characters as this. Chapter 7:23. True Immortal Soul. The lands of the region of the ancient Dao Lakes sank down once again into a concave shape, almost as if it were inhaling. The sight of it instantly caused the hundreds of thousands of cultivators on the outside to gape with wide eyes and reeling minds. A second eruption. When the 30-meter Dao lakes erupt a second time, there's a good chance that treasured items will appear. It's the same with the 300-meter lakes. For the 3,000-meter lakes, there's no need to even mention that. But this is actually a second eruption of the 30,000-meter lake. It's going to spit out a precious treasure. It will definitely be a precious treasure. It will definitely exceed everything from before. a precious treasure. If the cultivators on the O outside were aware of such things, then one can only imagine the understanding of the people above the lake itself. Even Liu Bai's mind trembled. Abandoning any thoughts of fighting Meng Hao, he looked down at the Dao Lake, his heart quivering. The teenager from his solitary sword sect stared down at the Dao Lake with glittering eyes and began to breathe heavily. Don't tell me. That sword wasn't the good fortune. Is this the real good fortune? A strange gleam appeared in the eyes of the Golden Frost sect puppet. The Golden Frost sect cultivators inside had already acquired a treasure and planned to leave, but seeing the new development caused them to collectively change their minds and resolve to make one last gamble. Reverend Witherdao stared in astonishment and stood there mutely, while the Song clan cultivators unleashed their auras. As for the 19th Li clan patriarch, he wiped the blood from his mouth and glared about with wild eyes. He had been defeated earlier, but this time he was willing to pay any price to steal something away. Dee grumbled inwardly. He was currently weak and not in a condition to be fighting. Next to him, Zhou Chen's eyes began to shine brightly. It was then that more rumbling could be heard. The second eruption of the Dao Lake would begin momentarily. The lake water began to boil, and it seemed a huge blast was imminent. Just when a lake was about to erupt, all of a sudden, Meng Hao flickered and shot toward the 19th Li clan patriarch. Damn it. The 19th Li clan patriarch's face fell, and he retreated at top speed. The other Li clan members behind him all had similar reactions. Lunatic, madman. The second eruption is about to begin.
Alright, we still need to go
and you still
shifty and
think you have time to try to
tilted.
kill us. Meng Hao, what are you doing?
I'll go to tilted
You
this
crossed the
time
30,000
around.
meter line, so I'm going to kill you, responded Meng Hao coolly. He had never had a good impression of the Li clan. Whether it was Li Daoi that year in the Blood Immortal tournament, or the overbearing way that the Li clan cultivators forced him into a corner outside the Rebirth Cave, they all caused Meng Hao's killing intent to rise. 1. Currently, the chi and blood in his body was bursting with vigor. After having absorbed Di Ye's fleshly body, he was ready to explode out with power at any moment. He moved forward with incredible speed, and as he neared, waved his sleeve. Immediately, a gigantic hand magically appeared, which emanated a Dao-seeking aura as it shot toward the Li clan members. Surrounding cultivators watched on, but did not interfere. The eruption was imminent, and they were more concerned with what treasures would appear. 5 people, including the 19th Li clan patriarch, all spit out blood and tumbled backward. They were just about to employ teleportation talismans to leave, when Meng Hao pointed a finger toward them. The blood demon grand magic appeared. A blood-colored vortex began to spin around them. The 19th Li clan patriarch emptied. The others could only watch on in shock. No! Meng Hao, let us go. Give us a chance. We'll leave
Thank you guys for
immediately.
2 likes. Appreciate it.
Did you give me a chance at the Rebirth Cave that year? Responded Meng Hao coolly. The blood-colored vortex began to absorb them, and miserable screams rang out. The bodies of all 5, including the 19th Li clan patriarch, rapidly withered. Massive amounts of chi and blood power flew toward Meng Hao. As that happened, Meng Hao's fleshly body became even more powerful. A Dao-seeking aura exploded out, followed by blood-curdling screams as the Li clan cultivators' bodies turned into skeletons. As the skeletons shattered into dust, their nascent divinities flew out and tried to escape. Meng Hao waved his arm in response.
Freaking shotgun.
A wind suddenly kicked up, and the 5 nascent divinities trembled for a moment, and then began to wither and dry up. It took only a moment for the 5 Li clan cultivators to be dead in body and soul. It's
Freaking
too
hate
bad I haven't
hiders,
entered
man.
the 3rd level of the Blood Demon Grand Magic. Otherwise, I could use the Spirit Meridian Stratum. Even as Meng Hao sensed the ripples of strength inside his fleshly
I'm just gonna
body,
go ahead and
a
get
massive
shifty
roaring
shaft
sound
there.
filled the air. Down below, the 30,000 meter Dao Lake was beginning to erupt. The second eruption, all eyes came to be fixed on the lake down below, and the boundless lake water rising
Thank you guys
up
for
to
2
the air.
likes, by the
There
way.
was only one person who wasn't looking at the lake. Meng Hao's eyes flickered over to Dao Child Zhou Chen of the Coffin Altar Sect. After a quick glance, he headed directly in the man's direction. Who would have ever thought that Meng Hao would actually attack Zhou Chen? Even Zhou Chen could scarcely believe it. After all, he had no enmity with Meng Hao. Moving with incredible speed, Meng Hao punched out. A Dao-seeking aura surged out, and the air shattered as the fist sped toward Zhou Chen. Zhou Chen's energy surged. He performed an incantation, and then shoved his hand out in front of him. Blood sprayed from Zhou Chen's mouth, and he tumbled backward. Mind spinning, he roared. What are you doing? I want the halo you took earlier and put into your bag of holding, said Meng Hao, advancing toward him. Damn it. Damn it. Zhou Chen was just about to retreat when suddenly the eruption of the Dao Lake grew more intense. A bright glow appeared within the water, as if items were about to appear. By this point, nobody was paying
GG's,
attention to
dude.
Meng Hao and Zhou Chen, although they remained on guard. Virtually all attention was focused on the Dao Lake below. Meng Hao punched again, and a shocking rumble sounded out. Zhou Chen's face paled as he tumbled back. He performed an incantation gesture that caused his body to distort and grow blurry, but he was still just as incapable of fighting back. More blood sprayed from his mouth. Too powerful. I'm simply not a match for him. Zhou Chen's face was ashen. The timing of Meng Hao's attack could be worse for him. Right now, teleportation was impossible. It only worked after the eruption had begun. It's going to erupt any moment now, he thought, clenching his teeth. There's no way that I can't hold on for just a few breaths worth of time. Meng Hao's expression was cold. The reason he had attacked the Li clan cultivators was to absorb their qi and blood, which he planned to then use to snatch away treasures that others had already collected. There was no enmity between him and Zhou Chen. However, it was better to rob Northern Reach's cultivators than Southern Domain cultivators. That had nothing to do with any hatred between them, rather territorial allegiances. Of course, this was a line of reasoning that Zhou Chen wouldn't be able to understand.
What is
You need a
this?
halo, or you die, said Meng Hao, shooting in pursuit. The rumbling of the Dao Lake grew even more intense. The waters were boiling, and had sunken down so low that it appeared the eruption would occur in the next breath. Hold on, thought Zhou Chen, gritting his teeth tightly. Just hold on a few more breaths. His face flickering, he retreated with all the speed he could muster. You really are looking to die, Meng Hao said with a cold snort. He waved his hand, causing the 9th mountain to appear, around which swirled the black, white pearls. As it descended toward Zhou Chen's face filled with intense astonishment. He wanted to struggle, but Meng Hao's fleshly body was already comparable to Dao seeking. Meng Hao raised his right hand up, seemingly fusing it with the 9th mountain. An indescribable force of destruction then rumbled down, crushing. An incredible sensation of deadly crisis filled Zhou Chen's heart. The sensation was intense to the extreme. Zhou Chen was absolutely certain that he was incapable of evading, and that if the mountain did strike him, he would be dead in body and spirit. Damn it. He was a decisive person, so with a snarl, he produced the glowing, golden halo from his bag of holding and tossed it out. The instant that Meng Hao laid hands on it, boom, the Dao Lake erupted. Endless amounts of lake water shot up into the air, within which could be seen, not vast quantities of treasures like the first time, but only one item. It was an illusory object that shone with multitudinous colors, like a soul. It looked like a man, although the features were somewhat obscure. As soon as the soul shot out from within the lake water,
Alright, we still need to get that last item there, right?
Aura suddenly burst out, the intensity of which can suppress spirit severing and subdue Dao seeking. This was immortal. An immortal aura surged skyward.
Trident of
Furthermore, it was
Excellence.
not
And then
that
after
of
that,
a
we'll
wholesome
be
mortal,
done.
but rather a true immortal.
Right.
The area surrounding the soul instantly changed. Natural law spun and altered, as if this object's existence could substitute its own laws for what already existed. The soul of a true IMM. Mortal, said the teenager from the solitary sword sect, his voice hoarse and his expression one of extreme excitement. True immortal soul, said the Golden Frost sect puppet, panting. Reverend Witherdao, the Song clan patriarch, and everyone else were completely shocked. Although they had all braced themselves mentally earlier and knew that the second eruption of the Dao Lake would produce a precious treasure, none of them had ever imagined that it would actually be the soul of a true immortal. To someone at the peak of Dao seeking, absorbing the soul of a true immortal would create an incredible opportunity to achieve true immortal ascension. It's actually a true immortal soul. Not many people actually recognized what it was, especially among the hundreds of thousands of cultivators outside. However, the majority of the people
That's the
above
worst
30,000
background
year
image
lake
there.
could tell what it was at a single glance. There were both true and false immortals. True immortals were people who were enlightened regarding a personal Tao, and after reaching the pinnacle, experienced immortal tribulation. Those who survived passed from Tao seeking to immortal ascension.
One more like, guys,
On
to
the
get our
other hand,
3rd like on the
false
stream.
immortals faced no immortal tribulation. They carved their name onto the immortality bestowal dais of the 9th mountain, and were bestowed with immortality. They had immortal chi, but could only be immortals in the 9th mountain. Such immortals could not step foot outside of the 9th mountain. Furthermore, were the immortality bestowal dais to be destroyed, they would all perish. After all, they were all immortals of the Ji clan. Not good. The appearance of a true immortal soul will definitely attract the attention of the peak Dao-seeking cultivators from the various sects and clans of the Southern Domain. This aura is extremely difficult to seal. It won't get out of the Southern Domain, but as of this moment, there are definitely people here who have already sensed it. The Solitary Sword sect teenager, the Golden Frost sect puppet, and Reverend Witherdao, as well as some of the other cultivators, all realized what this meant. I have to get my hands on it as quickly as possible. Even if I can't use it, I can give it as a gift, and still be rewarded with incredible good fortune. I have to have it. Anyone who fights me for it is dead. The teenager from the solitary sword sect shot out, his eyes bloodshot. Everyone else in the area also shot forward with glowing eyes. In the blink of an eye, everyone surged into motion. Even Meng Hao. Fight for the soul of the true immortal. They would fight to gain control of the true immortal soul as soon as possible, before the peak Dao-seeking eccentrics arrived. This was immortal destiny, the opportunity to become a true immortal. When opportunities such as this came along, nothing else was important. The only important thing was the immortal destiny. 1. Li Daoi was Meng Hao's main competition in the BLO. OD Immortal Tournament. He made his major debut in Chapter 130. He killed him in Chapter 305, shortly after which the Li Clan nascent soul cultivators joined forces with the G Clan in Chapter 311 to try to kill Meng Hao. Chapter 724. Pull out all the stops. Deep within Mount Solitary Sword of the Solitary Sword sect in the southern domain, a rumbling could suddenly be heard. An ancient aura exploded out, causing the sky to go dark. An illusory sword appeared, floating in midair. At the same time, an ancient old man in a black robe appeared out of nowhere. As he stood there, his peak Dao-seeking aura burst out, causing everything to tremble. He turned to look in the direction of the ancient Dao Lakes, the soul of a true immortal. A glow of determination appeared in his eyes, and he suddenly vanished, disappearing in the direction of the ancient Dao Lakes. In a restricted area of the Golden Frost sect could be seen a tombstone with nothing written on its surface. It looked ordinary and unremarkable. However, an ancient aura of decay suddenly emerged from inside the tomb, and a dried-up hand stretched out. The ground cracked and shattered as an ancient figure with disheveled hair abruptly flew out. The soul of a true immortal. That's the aura of a true immortal soul. A bizarre glow appeared in the figure's eyes as it shot through the air. Within the Violet Fate sect, everything was still. A sigh rang out, and then the silence resumed. A roar could be heard within the Li Clan. In the blink of an eye, an ancient man appeared. He wore a brightly brocaded robe and had towering killing intent. He flew through the air in the direction of the ancient Dao Lakes, accompanied by rumbling booms. Deep in the Song clan, a half-corpse sat as still as death. Suddenly, its eyes opened, and they shone with a bizarre light. A true immortal soul. My chance to achieve immortal ascension has finally arrived. Flesh and blood suddenly appeared to fill out the lower half of his body. In the blink of an eye, he was a middle-aged man. He had no hair and wore a long Daoist robe. He took a step forward and then vanished. In the Black Civ sect, Patriarch Six Daos could sense the same thing as everyone else. However, he hesitated, then let out a frustrated growl. Damn it. My cultivation base has already dropped to the mid-Dao seeking stage. How could I hold my own in the fighting? Meng Hao, Blood Demon Sect. I won't rest until you're dead. Meanwhile, on a mountain in the border region between the Southern Domain and the Milky Way Sea was a hamlet populated by 100 or so families. Smoke curled up into the air, and crisp peals of laughter could be heard from children playing outside the village. You can't catch me, old man. Grandpa, your hands are too dirty. Don't try to grab me. Try to catch me, old man. We're right here.
How was
The
that?
children were playing hide and seek with an old man. His hair was unkempt, and he looked a bit crazy. Gosh, his clothes were dirty, and even his skin had splotches of mud. It looked like his long, draping hair hadn't been tended to in a very long time. The old man laughed foolishly as he chased the children back and forth, which made the children laugh merrily. Ha ha ha, I'm gonna getcha. I'm gonna catch ya. Ha ha ha, I have no soul. I'm gonna getcha. Meng Hao. Who's Meng Hao? Immortal Ascension. Immortal Ascension? In the middle of running back and forth, the old man suddenly stopped in place, as if he had noticed something. A tremor ran through his body, and he looked off into the distance, his eyes listless. The soul of an immortal. A true immortal
Third party.
soul. Who am I? Who am I? The old man grabbed his head in his hands. Immortal Ascension. Immortal Ascension. I will become immortal. He then lifted his head up and let out a disconsolate howl, filled with shocking ripples and immortal chi. The amorphous ripples swept out in all directions. The smiles on the faces of the children twisted, and then their bodies began to turn illusory. The entire hamlet twisted and distorted, and began to glow with glittering lights. The lights flew up into the air, and then shot toward the old man, where they swirled together to form a heavy saber. The man gripped the saber in his hand, and shot off into the distance. The hamlet was never real, and neither were the people who lived there. They were all simply incarnations of the saber. Immortal Ascension. Immortal Ascension. I will become immortal. The old man continued to roar as he shot through the air. His expression was one of confusion, and his soul was incomplete. Meanwhile, back in Mount Blood Demon, Patriarch Blood Demon sat in the blood pond. His eyes suddenly opened, and he was about to rise to his feet, then hesitated. No karma or destiny connected to me, he said, shaking his head. He settled back down and continued to meditate. Throughout the entire southern domain, all the great powers were shaken. A streak of colorful light shot out from the western desert. It was a black-robed young man who looked very similar to Meng Hao. His expression was grim as he sped through the air. If you looked at him from a distance, he resembled an enormous black bat. He shot toward the ancient Dao lakes at top speed. He's there. I can sense him. As the southern domain was shocked, back in the inner region of the ancient Dao lakes, booms rang out across the 30,000-meter Dao lake. The battle for the true immortal soul was not something that ordinary spirit severance cultivators could participate in. Even someone of the second severing would have a hard time wresting away this good fortune without perishing, although the mere thought of the opportunity caused everyone's hearts to shake. After experiencing the fighting after the first eruption of the 30,000-meter Dao lake, the spirit-severing experts of the various sects and clans were left shaken. Therefore, they now hesitated, and many of them retreated from the fighting. The 6 Blood Demon sect patriarchs were the first to fall back. Then, Sir Jian and the others from the Solitary Sword sect. As for the Song clan, the patriarch who had led them here finally gritted his teeth and departed. Reverend Wither Dao was the only one present from the Violet Fate sect. A strange gleam appeared in his eyes, and he hesitated for a moment, but in the end, chose to leave. Booms rattled out, and violent pulses of magical energy spread through the air. Only a few people qualified to participate in this battle. The mysterious teenager from the Solitary Sword sect, the composite puppet from the Golden Frost sect, Lu Bai of the Imperial Bloodline clan from the northern reaches,
He's chasing me
lastly,
hard.
Meng Hao. Di had been seriously injured by Meng Hao, and Zhou Chun from the Coffin Altar sect had experienced having his pride completely destroyed. The two of them didn't dare to participate in the fighting and retreated off to the side. The booms were shocking. The mysterious teenager from the Solitary Sword sect wielded the 2-meter-long sword. As he slapped it out in front of him, a dazzling, resplendent crescent moon exploded out, sending out shocking ripples. In the battle for the true immortal soul, no one had any allies. Everyone was an enemy. Therefore, no one dared to fight one-on-one with anyone else, but instead used divine abilities that were essentially area attacks. Currently, the path to victory involved blocking the way of others. All of you get out of my way, roared the Golden Frost sect puppet. Brilliant light rose up from it, and it raised its hand and then swept it forward. A black mass of seawater magically appeared, within which surged numerous black dragons. Each of the black dragons spit out a pearl, which became a world that surged out.
Alright guys, we're still in the
Lu
goal
Bai
of
the
3
Imperial
likes
Bloodline clan let out a
in the
cold snort.
stream.
He quickly performed an incantation gesture and then waved his finger. The air distorted, as if time were beginning to
CGI
reverse.
guys,
Everyone
CGI.
suddenly slowed down exponentially, and it seemed as if time were about to flow backward. As for Lu Bai, in a scant moment, he was closing in on the soul of the true immortal. And then there was Meng Hao. He didn't employ any special divine abilities. All he did was summon the black-white pearls and the 9th mountain, which then bore down directly onto the position of the true immortal soul. The incoming 9th mountain caused Lu Bai's face to flicker. A moment ago, he had been on the verge of reaching the true immortal soul, but now he was blocked. The other powerful experts in the area were all attacking one by one. Everything rumbled, and for the moment, all of the cultivators were prevented from advancing toward the soul. It was in this moment that the teenager from the Solitary Sword sect lifted his head up and roared. His body began to grow. In a split second, he had become a young man. His aura grew explosively. Dao seeking. In power rose up, and he was no longer in the spirit-severing stage. Apparently, he had stepped into Dao seeking. Natural law formed around him, and he advanced forward through the black seawater. He broke through Lu Bai's time reversal and slammed into Meng Hao's 9th mountain. A boom echoed out as the Solitary Sword sect teenager lifted his hand and pointed. His natural law slammed into the 9th mountain and pierced it through. The man reached his hand out toward the true immortal soul. Damn it, you're looking to die. Lu Bai's face fell, and he quickly performed a double-handed incantation, then pointed out. Immediately, a beam of light flew out, and the power of time reversal instantly appeared around the young man from the Solitary Sword sect. The Golden Frost sect puppet roared, and then waved a hand. Monstrous black light transformed into a black rain, which then coalesced into 10,000 howling dragons that shot toward the young man from the Solitary Sword sect. Killing intent flickered in Meng Hao's eyes. He did not use any offensive magic, but instead waved a finger to employ the 8th demon sealing hex. It didn't matter that the young man from the Solitary Sword sect had an early Dao-seeking cultivation base. The combined might of the 3 others was still enough to shake him. Lu Bai's bizarre magic made it so that he was almost stuck in time. Meng Hao's shocking divine ability thoroughly bound him in place and weakened his cultivation base. Then the Golden Frost sect puppet closed in with raging killing intent. The combined attack of 3 different parties caused the young man from the solitary sword sect to go pale in the face. Blood sprayed from his mouth as he tumbled backward. Lu Bai was the first to make a move. Utilizing time reversal, he appeared next to the soul of the true immortal and was about to grab a hold of it when the young man from the solitary sword sect roared. His sword raged, and 10,000 moons roared forth. They combined with the 10,000 snarling dragons of the Golden Frost sect puppet and Meng Hao's irksome hex. Lu Bai couldn't hold up. His scalp went numb, and blood sprayed from his mouth. He had no time to grab the true immortal soul, and was forced into retreat. In almost that exact same moment, Meng Hao and the Golden Frost sect puppet flew forward toward the true immortal soul. Their speed was shocking, and only a tiny instant passed before both were about to lay hands on it. The Golden Frost sect puppet's eyes flickered, and 10,000 dragons roared toward Meng Hao. At the same time, the young man from the solitary sword sect and Lu Bai joined together to attack Meng Hao and the Golden Frost sect puppet. This was a battle royale, filled with strikes and counterstrikes of all sorts. If this continued, no one would be able to prevail. Furthermore, time was of the essence. They all knew that peak Dao-seeking experts were definitely approaching, and then none of them would be able to continue to participate in the fighting. The Blood Demon Grand Magic was powerful, but Meng Hao wasn't confident that it could restrain all 3 of the others at the same time. If he missed even one, it would be difficult to fight that person while simultaneously maintaining the Blood Demon Grand Magic. His eyes flickered as he saw the divine abilities nearing. He suddenly lifted his hand and clenched it into a fist.
Ah, damn it, man. He was just spraying and praying, wasn't he? He was just spraying and praying, bro. I almost had him.
This punch was comparable to Dao-seeking. However, what he attacked was not a person. The fist struck out.
Yeah, only had
and the
28
air
more health,
vibrated.
dude.
The land shook, and a deafening sound filled the air. He punched a gigantic hole into the air itself, after which a shocking gravitational force exploded out from within. It seemed that in order to repair itself, it needed to suck everything from the outside world into it. This was a part of a natural law. Behind the emptiness was the void. Chapter 7:25. Grab that soul. The power of the gravitational force within the gap in the void was actually not very great. However, Meng Hao's strike contained Dao-seeking power. An incredible wind arose which, in combination with the gravitational force, caused the others to gasp in shock. The young man from the solitary sword sect looked astonished as he was helplessly sucked toward the gap. It was the same with the Golden Frost sect puppet and even Lu Bai. In just a short moment, they were already nearing the rift. Their expressions flashed again when Meng Hao, despite being as out of control as them, suddenly looked at them with flashing eyes. An enormous vortex suddenly appeared around Meng Hao, and a gigantic red hand wrapped around him. He was using the Blood Demon Grand Magic, not on one of them, but on himself. He was using the power of the red vortex to fight against the gravitational force coming from the gap. A rumbling sound could be heard as Meng Hao instantly came to a stop. Everyone could see that of the group, he was the closest to the soul of the true immortal.
Let's see what's in the...
Fighting against the power of the gravitational force, he used the power of his fleshly body to shrug off the attacks from the solitary sword sect teenager and Lu Bai, as well as the Golden Frost sect puppet's divine ability. After coughing up some blood, he stretched his hand out and grabbed the soul of the true immortal. Damn it. Meng Hao, are you looking to die? As soon as he touched it, a rumbling filled his mind. At the same time, the soul of the true immortal began to shrink. It took only a moment for it to transform into a crystal, which Meng Hao closed his fingers around. Got it, he thought. His eyes glittered, and he prepared to teleport away. However, it was in that instant that the 30,000-meter Dao lake down below suddenly emitted an astonishing rumbling sound. At the same time, the lake water transpo led into an enormous whirlpool that pulsed with an incredible gravitational force. This intense gravitational force instantly superseded the gravitational force from the fissure in the air. Immediately, the Golden Frost sect puppet broke into pieces, burning to the 5 cultivators from the Golden Frost sect. Their bodies were completely beyond their control, and they let out miserable screams as they were sucked down into the Dao lake below. Next were the young man from the solitary sword sect and Lu Bai, whose faces instantly fell. The young man from the solitary sword sect immediately crushed a jade slip. His body began to fade with the power of teleportation. However, it was not powerful enough, and he too was sucked down into the Dao lake. The power of time immediately began to ripple around Lu Bai as he attempted to reverse the flow of time. However, after a single breath of time, the distortion shattered. Time was incapable of being reversed. He was transformed into a streak of light and sucked down into the Dao lake. Meng Hao was the last person remaining. The Blood Demon Grand Magic remained, but it was trembling violently. Meng Hao's mind reeled as he fought to free himself from the gravitational force. However, he was only able to hold out for the space of 3 breaths before cracking sounds could be heard from the Blood Demon Grand Magic and the enormous hand. They shattered, and Meng Hao was violently dragged down into the Dao Lake. Almost in the same moment that they were sucked down into the 30,000-meter Dao Lake, two beams of light appeared far off in the distance. It took only one breath of time for two old men to suddenly appear above the lake. One of them immediately gestured down toward the lake, but not even a single ripple spread out across its surface. At the same time, more beams of light approached from all directions, closing in on the same position. These were all the peak Dao-seeking eccentrics who had sensed the soul of the true immortal. All of them were just a moment too late. However, they wouldn't give up that easily. They joined forces to attack the lake, after which they guarded it, observing it for a long time. When they were finally convinced that they couldn't get inside, they left, sighing with regret. It was at that point that the ancient Dao lakes were finally restored to peace and quiet. As for Meng Hao and the others, they were considered missing. Of course, the fact that Meng Hao ended up obtaining the soul of the true immortal was something that couldn't be kept under wraps. After all, spirit-severing experts from all the clans and sects had witnessed the event personally. More and more people across the southern domain learned of the matter, and the various eccentrics of the sects and clans nearly went mad. They even joined forces to perform auguries which revealed that Meng Hao was, in fact, not dead. A furious search then unfolded across the entire southern domain. If Meng Hao appeared, and then the sects would surely find out immediately. Of course, the Blood Demon sect didn't agree to all of that. As such, random skirmishes between sects became common in the lands of the southern domain. The entire southern domain was slipping into chaos. Rogue cultivators feared for their lives. Although there was no formal declaration of war, minor battles and fights were a common occurrence. As for Meng Hao, after he was sucked down into the Dao Lake with the others, he entered what seemed like a tunnel, and then lost consciousness. He was sucked along for an indeterminable period of time before an incredible roaring sound suddenly shook him awake. When he came to, he found himself in midair. Above was not a sky, but rather a boundless solid surface inlaid with infinite shining pearls that lit the entire area as brightly as day. Interspersed among the pearls were the mouths of tunnels, virtually endless. As soon as he saw them, Meng Hao could guess that he had dropped out of just such an opening. What is this place? He thought, his mind trembling. As he looked around, his eyes instantly went wide, and his face filled with shock. He was not in the ancient Dao lakes. He was surrounded by endless ruins, the sheer enormity of which was difficult to describe. Wreckage and corpses stretched out in all directions, some of them half buried. From the look of it, there were even more ruins that were completely buried beneath the ground. It seemed as if this place was filled with layers of ruins that had built up over countless years of time. There were also mountains visible. The mountains were not true mountains, but rather enormous collections of magical items, medicinal pills, and even corpses. There were tens of thousands of such mountains scattered about everywhere. The sight was completely shocking. Even more shocking was that in the middle of the tens of thousands of mountains floated an enormous portal of flames. The bright red flames of the portal shot up high into the sky, causing the entire world to be filled with the color of its fire. Up above in the air flew vicious winged creatures which were too numerous to count. Their bodies were completely violent, and they carried
Jeez, what did he
armfuls of
shoot me
magical
with?
items that they tossed into the portal's flames, which then burned them to absolutely nothing. Apparently, the magical items provided some sort of power, which caused magical symbols to occasionally appear on the flame portal. Every time the magical symbols flickered, a sea of flames would boil out. Beneath the flame portal was a gigantic ball, fully 30,000 meters long. It was bright crimson, and was suspended in midair to point down toward a 3,000-meter wide abyss. There were few of the winged beasts who glowed with a silver light. They seemed as if they were in a position of great authority,
they got those.
and
Okay,
carried
the
whips,
leverage.
which they used to lash the others. There were
Auto.
also some golden-colored beasts who lay
Okay.
prone near the flame portal, Apar, and TLY asleep. In addition to all that, there were also a variety of strange beasts going to and fro on foot. They emanated shocking auras as they made their way among the ruins.
You got no shotgun, bud?
All sorts of
Oh,
objects.
man.
They carried corpses, magical items, spirit stones, and other wreckage. Almost in the same moment that Meng Hao saw them, the denizens of this place seemed to notice him. They all stopped moving and suddenly looked in his direction. Countless gazes came to fall on him, causing his scalp to go numb. Meng Hao had actually seen the violet, winged, humanoid beasts being spit out from the Dao lakes in the outside world.
Wait, I don't remember
Each
eliminating
and everyone
anybody.
he saw now was similar to the great circle of the nascent soul stage, and there were even
Okay,
some
that
who had
was me.
spirit-severing auras. As for the silver-colored beasts, each and every one was a spirit-severing beast. There were even some who had Dao-seeking auras, nearly 200 of them. Most shocking of all were the gold-colored beasts that lay prone by the flame portal. There were 11 in total. From what Meng Hao could sense, the golden-colored beasts all had Dao's seeking power. One of them was a violet gold color, and Meng Hao could tell that it was even more powerful at the peak of Dao seeking. It was even above Patriarch 6 Daos and the 10th Long Clan Patriarch. As for the beasts who walked about on foot on land, they were a bit weaker. Even still, the vast quantity of the beasts was in, and of itself enough to fill Meng Hao with a sense of deadly crisis. What is this place? He thought, his scalp tingling. As he saw the beasts turning to look at him, he felt as if he were standing under the shadow of death. If the golden-colored beasts weren't there, it wouldn't have been so bad. But with them present, the threat Meng Hao sensed was just far too great. Worst of all, there was a deep gold-colored beast sitting in the middle of the fire portal. Meng Hao could sense an even more terrifying aura, the aura of an immortal. It was at this point that the gold-colored beasts laying prone around the flame portal all began to open their eyes. They stared over at Meng Hao with cold gazes. At the same time, the deep gold-colored beast looked at Meng Hao, and he immediately felt as if he was being sealed in place. That thing is far more powerful than the 10th Long Clan Patriarch, thought Meng Hao. If 6 Daos were here, he wouldn't be close to being a match. What kind of beast is this? I can't believe this underground world has such shocking beasts in it. Or perhaps they're demons? His face flickered, and he edged backward. However, it was then that he suddenly saw a person pop out from one of the tunnel mouths up above. It was none other than Lu Bai. The instant he appeared, he looked around, and his face flickered. After him came the young man from the Solitary Sword sect, and then the 5 Golden Frost sect cultivators. When he realized the order in which they emerged, Meng Hao's eyes gleamed. Turd. I was the last to be sucked in, but the first to be dropped out, he thought. The 5 Golden Frost sect spirit-severing cultivators were the first to be sucked in, and the last to drop out. When the young man from the Solitary Sword sect and the 5 Golden Frost sect cultivators saw the lands around them, their faces also fell. All 8 of the cultivators backed up, fearful of offending the terrifying beasts and provoking an attack. Foreigners, an ancient voice said. It echoed out through the entire world, from none other than the most powerful of the beasts, the deep gold-colored one that sat in a flame portal. It flew up into the air and suddenly began to grow larger. In a brief moment, it was 300 meters long, and it appeared to be the overseer of the place. You are the second group of foreigners to arrive during this era. Chapter 726, Trial by Fire. In accordance with the ancient treaty, you may take part in a life or death trial by fire here. If you succeed, then according to the ancient charter, you may acquire treasures from this place. If you fail, then this place shall be your grave. There are 3 levels, and by passing the second level, you earn the right to leave if you wish. If you make it past the 3rd level, you can enter the land that's been guarded by my clan from generation to generation. There you can acquire the ultimate good fortune. That good fortune is the divine flame essence, the most supreme flame that exists in heaven and earth. Even the tiniest spark of that flame can burn an immortal to death. In this age, you are the second group to enter this place. As for the first group, it consisted of 19 people in total. Of that group, 2 made it through the 2nd level. 1 left, and the other died in the 3rd level. As the voice echoed out, Meng Hao's mind trembled, and he stopped in his tracks. The young man from the Solitary Sword sect, as well as Lu Bai, both had strange gleams in their eyes. As for the 5 patriarchs from the Golden Frost sect, their eyes were glittering brightly. You of the second group are quite powerful, more powerful than the first group. One of the old men from the Golden Frost sect hesitated for a moment before tentatively asking, "Can we decline to participate in the life or death trial by fire?" As soon as the words left the man's mouth, the deep gold overseer's eyes flickered, and it looked over at the old man. What was that? The old man immediately began to quiver, as if his cultivation base had suddenly become unstable. A look of scorn appeared in the eyes of the deep gold overseer. Once you come to this place, it said coolly, you must participate. If you choose to quit, you die. Those were the terms of the ancient treaty. Our clan gave its approval, so the agreement will not be changed. Once you pass the 2nd level, then you may choose to depart. The 1st level is none other than our current location. You will be told with my fellow clan members. If you can enter the flame portal, then it signifies that you have passed the 1st level. The deep gold overseer's voice echoed out in all directions. Lu Bai's eyes glittered, and he cautiously said, "Senior, you're at the peak of Dao seeking. How can we compare to you?" "I will not participate," was the calm reply. "Furthermore, only one of my gold-colored fellow clan members will join the battle." The golden-armored man from the Golden Frost sect immediately asked, "Do we fight one at a time, or can we go together?" "One at a time. 1 person, 1 level. You will have 3 chances to get past a level. If you lose on your 3rd chance, you die." Next to speak was the young man from the Solitary Sword sect. "What if we kill too many of your people, and then you regret letting us fight?" "Kill too many?" The deep gold overseer laughed heartily. "Our clan descended from the undying divinity clan. Do you really think you can kill us? As his voice echoed out, black flames sprang up from the bodies of the beasts down below. As soon as the fire appeared, the level of their auras shot upward. The explosive growth was terrifying. Many of the violet-colored beasts, which were at the Great Circle of the Nascent Soul stage, actually completely exceeded the limits of the Nascent Soul stage and stepped directly into Spirit Severing. As for the silver-colored beasts, their energy also shot up. Fine, I, Gu Tianxiang, will be the first to go, said the young man from the solitary sword sect. He lifted his right hand, causing the 2-meter-long sword to appear, as well as the 9 1-meter short swords that circulated around him. The energy that surged out was that of the early Dao seeking stage. The young man's eyes flickered as he shot forward. The instant he charged forward, the violet-colored beasts began to fly toward him one after another. Booms rang out without cease as Gu Tianxiang of the solitary sword sect shot forward with incredible speed, slaughtering the entire way. However, his expression soon began to flicker. The violet-colored beasts were extremely valiant. When they were injured, the flames that covered them would heal their wounds in a flash. However, Gu Tianxiang was also incredibly valiant. As he fought his way on, silver-colored beasts appeared. He fought his way onward until he was about 1,000 meters from the flame portal. It was at that point that he fell, surrounded by a group of 20 silver-colored beasts. With a miserable shriek, he retreated back to his original position. 1,000 meters. Your first attempt has failed, stated the deep gold overseer in a cool voice. Although, the fact that you were able to retreat in one piece is quite an accomplishment. You have the potential to make it past the first level. The expressions of Meng Hao and the others sank when they saw the incredible power of the beasts' fleshly bodies. They didn't seem to possess any divine abilities or magical techniques, but their physical might really was too powerful, to the point that they seemed virtually unkillable. Furthermore, after being injured, their flames would immediately heal them. Liu Bai's eyes flickered, and he suddenly strode forward. He was a powerful expert from the northern reaches who wielded the power of time and space, and possessed no scant amount of life-saving treasures. In the spirit-severing stage, he had already slaughtered experts of the early Dao seeking stage. He immediately transformed into a streak of light that charged forward, surrounded by distortions of space-time. As he proceeded along, it almost seemed as if the beasts were incapable of even touching him. Every blow landed on thin air. Gu Tianxiang's pupils constricted, and unsightly expressions could be seen on the faces of the 5 men from the Golden Frost sect. As for Meng Hao, his eyes began to shine brightly. Said the deep gold overseer, its expression one of surprise as it watched Liu Bai. A master of the secret arts of time, with your own Dao. Excellent. You are qualified to match up to the 2 members of that first group of foreigners who entered here. Liu Bai slaughtered his way on, passing the 1,500-meter mark, where he was immediately surrounded by 20 silver-colored beasts. When that happened, he began to sweat, but still managed to kill his way more than 500 meters further. By now, he was only about 500 meters away from the flame portal. Gu Tianxiang from the solitary sword sect had a very unsightly expression on his face. Is this really my limit? Liu Bai's eyes were shot with blood as he performed an incantation with his right hand, and then pointed up into the sky. River of Time, he cried. Immediately, countless sparkling lights appeared around him, which transformed into a river that stretched out far and wide. The 20 silver-colored beasts had no choice but to fall back. Liu Bai charged forward 250 meters. He was now only 250 meters away from the flame portal. The deep gold overseer up in midair watched on with a strange gleam in its eyes. It was at this point that a gold-colored beast suddenly rose to its feet. It shot with incredible speed toward Liu Bai, and when the two met, a huge boom rose up into the sky. Blood sprayed from Liu Bai's mouth, but his expression was one of savagery as he backed up and slapped his bag of holding. Immediately, a black dragon corpse appeared. This black dragon corpse was none other than the one he had procured during the eruption of the Dao Lake. Time reversal, resurrection. Blue veins popped out on Liu Bai's forehead, and he suddenly seemed to age by 10 years. The river of time exploded into countless colorful lights which then inundated the black dragon. It was now possible to see the dragon apparently returning to life from the dead. Its eyes suddenly snapped open, and a shocking aura roiled out which contained the power of an immortal. The power exploded out for only a moment. Then it vanished, and the dragon was once again dead. But that one moment was shocking to the extreme. Gu Tianxiang of the solitary sword sect gasped, and a look of astonishment could be seen in his eyes. How could he have imagined that Liu Bai would have such an amazing secret art? The 5 men from the Golden Frost sect all looked shocked, and their minds were filled with roaring. A secret art like the one they had just seen was unbelievable. Meng Hao's eyes widened. Earlier, he had been able to sense that Liu Bai was powerful, but now he realized Liu Bai was even more powerful than he had imagined. However, He was only barely able to use that secret art, he thought. Suddenly, the same desire to do battle that he had seen in Lu Bai's eyes now appeared in his own. I wonder who between the two of us is stronger? Surrounded by the beast horde, Lu Bai's secret art unleashed the explosive power of the dragon, which turned into an incredible attack that shot toward the gold-colored beast. The gold-colored beast's face fell, and it wanted to flee, but before it could, the attack slammed into it with a boom, shredding its flesh into ribbons. It let out a miserable scream and fell back at high speed. Flames burst out, rapidly healing the wounds. It didn't die, but it was forced into retreat. That gave Lu Bai the opportunity he needed. Coughing up blood, he shot forward at top speed, crossing the final 250 meters and stepping up into the flame portal. He coughed up some more blood, then waved his hand to collect up the black dragon corpse. What an incredible cultivator, said the deep gold overseer, an expression of admiration on its face. To have passed the first level in one attempt, you may proceed to the second level. I look forward to seeing how you perform there. After passing the second level, you will acquire a precious treasure from our clan. When your secret time art has reached its pinnacle, you can bring dead things back to life. Unfortunately, your cultivation base is too weak. If you can achieve true immortal ascension, and then utilize that art, you can resurrect that nightmare dragon to aid you for an entire battle. There's no need to wait to be a true immortal, said Lu Bai coolly, wiping the blood from his lips. The day I reach the peak of Dao Seeking, I can resurrect it to use in battle. He turned to look back toward Meng Hao, who was standing 3,000 meters away. His gaze passed through the hordes of beasts to lock with Meng Hao's. Meng Hao, can you pass through? He asked coolly. Don't disappoint me now. With that, he turned, paying Meng Hao no more heed as he stepped into the fire portal. In the blink of an eye, he was gone. Your turn, said the deep gold overseer, his gaze sweeping over Meng Hao and the others. If you're not confident, you can wait here until you are. Time means nothing to us. If you wish to practice cultivation here for a few thousand years before you try to charge through, you end. Normally speaking, it's quite lonesome here. Now that I've been able to lay eyes on you foreigners, I feel it would be a shame to see you die here. However, if you fail 3 times in a row, then I will personally slay you. And of course, there is always the possibility that you'll be killed trying to break through. Thousands of years? I can't wait at all. Elder sister Sue won't even stay alive for another 99 years. I need to spend this life with her, not end up getting stuck in this place. His eyes shone with coldness as he stepped forward, transforming into a beam of light that shot toward the beast hordes. This time, it was the solitary sword sex Gu Tianxiang whose eyes were fixed on Meng Hao as he shot forward. I always thought Meng Hao was the most inhuman cultivator I'd ever seen. I never imagined that Lu Bai would be even more shocking. Although, it took a bit of effort for Lu Bai to pass the level. This Meng Hao won't be able to make it across. The 5 Golden Frost sect cultivators were looking on with unsightly expressions. If they joined forces, they might have a chance. But alone, none of the 5 had any confidence at all. To them, this place was a dead end. After seeing Gu Tianxiang suffer defeat, and then seeing Lu Bai succeed, they were filled with many complex emotions. At the moment, they were watching Meng Hao. Meng Hao shot forward with incredible speed, smashing into the beast horde with a bang. Chapter 727. Completely golden. Immediately, countless violet-colored humanoid beasts surrounded him with flapping wings. All he could see was a mass of violet. Of the 3,000 meters to the flame portal, the first 1,500 meters were firmly occupied by the violet-colored beasts. Only after passing through that region would they stand out. The silver-colored beasts made their move at the 1,000-meter mark, which was where Gu Tianxiang of the solitary sword sect had been defeated. If one could pass the silver-colored beast, the next challenge was a gold-colored beast. Meng Hao's eyes glittered. He didn't have time to waste here, so he immediately went on the offensive. The black-white pearls and the 9th mountain rumbled out. As the 9th mountain descended, with the black-white pearls circulating around it, everything trembled. The air vibrated, and multiple layers of ripples expanded out, transforming into an astonishing pressure that weighed down on everything. The intense pressure was like a wall that crashed into the violet-colored beasts. As Meng Hao charged forward, they tumbled back, howling. Even the most outstanding of the violet-colored beasts were incapable of even getting close to Meng Hao before being smashed backward. 250 meters, 500 meters, 750 meters, 1,000 meters. Within the space of only a few breaths of time, Meng Hao proceeded forward as if he were walking along a paved path. He quickly reached the 1,500-meter mark, with the violet-colored beasts left behind in the dust. They glared at him, but didn't pursue or attack him any further. Up ahead was a glittering, silver glow, which was a silver-colored beast. It shot forward with a ferocious expression and incredible speed. Its power seemed equivalent to the second severing. Meng Hao gave a cold snort as he waved his right hand. The ninth mountain arrived, crushing the silver-colored beast. It let out a miserable howl as its body began to fall apart. However, the flames leaped out and quickly restored it. Meng Hao quickly advanced by about 250 meters, putting him only 1,250 meters away from the flame portal. It was then that 6 more silver-colored beasts joined the beast from earlier. 7 total, 5 with second severing cultivation bases, and 2 with third severing cultivation bases, charged toward Meng Hao. Crushing time, Meng Hao advanced, waving his right finger. The ninth mountain grew in size, rumbling as it crushed down onto the 7 silver-colored beasts. Meng Hao charged onward. He was now only 500 meters away from the flame portal. At this point, more than 10 silver-colored beasts attacked him furiously. Booms rang out from the ninth mountain as the 7 silver-colored beasts being suppressed burst out from within. Their bodies wreathed in flames.
I have to go get my son.
To completely surround Meng Hao. The 5 men from the Golden Frost sect were watching intently as all of this happened. Off to the side, Gu Tianxiang's eyes glittered. Meng Hao is now in the same position he had been when he suffered defeat.
Somebody eliminated me? No way, dude. He eliminated me now. No way, bro. Okay, I see how it is. They got me, Jonah. They got me. Okay. Well, unfortunately, we didn't unlock the quest here. We almost got it. So, you want to get down, bud? Okay, let me end this game, bud. GG's, guys. Catch you later on the stream.